Well, I guess on Absolutely Famous today is Chiefs midfield backstar Alex Nankerville, and Alex are on the eve of a blockbuster clash in the DHL Pacific Super Rugby between the Chiefs, your side unbeaten, against the Hurricanes, who lead the competition on points differential. So it should be a belter.
Yeah, it will be, mate. I guess probably we've had a couple of challenges with the Blues in our last round game before the bye, and this will be the real test. I think they're probably biased, but between them and us, we're probably the two form teams consistently this year. So yeah, I'm really excited to watch, see how the boys go.
And the best thing is it's an afternoon game now because the lights in Wellington aren't quite ready. So I think the electricians have done rugby a favour, I reckon.
Yeah, I agree. Most of the boys, if you talk to them, enjoy the earlier games. The 7 p.m. game it's a bit of a drag. Sitting around all day just waiting for things to get underway. So yeah, and hopefully the weather holds out too at 2:30. No dew, which is always good. So it should be an exciting match with a lot of running rugby, hopefully.
Yeah, it should be good. You're a bit injured yourself at the moment. You'd suffered a concussion. How's that coming along? I hope that's getting better.
Yeah, concussion. So it is getting better. Very slowly though. So just gotta be patient. Trust the medical team and just trust the process of the whole thing. So yeah, hopefully another week or so and then back into it with the boys at training.
Yeah, well, it must be frustrating. I mean, you're in such good form too. It's the worst part, isn't it? You can't play, I guess.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it is. Well, obviously that's why you play rugby, eh? There's a job to get through the week, and at the end you can compete with your mates against another team. I think that's probably the main part of it. Then also, you're so used to structure, and when you get a concussion, you can't really do that much. So there's a lot of spare time during the day. So yeah, it's been challenging. Won't lie, but yeah, it's just one of those things you got to deal with.
Yeah, for sure. So, what do you guys get up to during the bye week? You had last weekend off. Do you go away or do you?
Yeah, a few of the boys would have gone away. Because I was injured, I was planning on going back to Bay of Plenty, spending a bit of time there around the Coromandel. But yeah, just because had my injury and I was trying to get on top of it at the start of the week because I was feeling alright. So I was doing my progressions back at HQ with the team there, but kind of got to the third stage, which is a gym, and got symptoms. So I kind of just stayed put and recovered. Didn't do too much. Saw some mates, which was nice. And then on the weekend got home and saw the family, which was good because you don't always get to spend heaps of time with them when you're traveling around and training all day. So that was good. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of the boys got away. When we come back on day one, everyone looked excited to be back and refreshed. So that's the main thing about the bye week.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're coming off a gritty 2013 win in your last game over the Blues, and your defence certainly stood up there with a little bit of help from Bowden dancing down the touchline there. But I thought it was a terrific defensive performance, particularly.
Yeah, it was gutsy. The Blues have got some pretty outstanding players, especially on attack in that team. But yeah, I think from our D, we took our moments to take points and score tries when we were presented them, and they were probably the opposite. The ball didn't really bounce their way that game. I'm sure they're probably key players weren't on form, and that tends to kind of bring the whole group down when shit, your best player's not playing that well. Like, what's going on? You get a bit rattled. So yeah, a bit of that too. But yeah, to keep them out for I'd say 40% of that. 40% of that game they were spending our 22 attacking our line. Was pretty phenomenal, I thought. So yeah, they did really well.
Yeah, a guy that's really impressed, or since he got a crack in the All Blacks last year, your old teammate at Tasman, Mark Talia. How come he's so hard to tackle? He just looks like he's just running normally and people just fall off him. I'm sure it's a bit more.
So he's got unreal footwork and he's actually deceptively strong. He's quite of a lean build, doesn't look too bulky, but I think it's a combination of the two. He'll run up to you and he changes direction really quick, but then he also he'll stop and then go again. So when he stops, people get flat-footed, and that's when he gets the arm out, fends them off, and he's just powerful and he he can get through. So yeah, he's pretty hard to handle. I've played him a couple of times now against the Blues, and it's always tough tackling him there.
Yeah.
But it's awesome to see him doing well. I think he's obviously been the form left winger, right winger.
Yeah, he's been terrific. Yeah, him and your other Tasman mate, Lester, of course, Fainganuku's playing really well too.
Yeah, he is, mate. He's the same, just a freak. Like, he's different to Mark. He's a bit more built. He's a big boy. Just runs relentlessly. Like, doesn't care about his body. Just runs hard. And so it's awesome to see the boys doing well, and hopefully it continues and they can carry it on to the World Cup. Fingers crossed for them.
Yeah, too right. So what's the message from the coaches been heading into Saturday's blockbuster against the Hurricanes? Of course, the challenges everywhere there.
Yeah. You'll have to forgive me. I haven't been at too many meetings this week, just trying to stay away. But the one I was at, I talked a lot about just our defense, pretty much. Like, the Hurricanes have got the best attacking stats in the comp, scored the most tries. Obviously, like touched on, they got the best points differential. So we've got to be on there. So pretty much just trusting what we've been doing so far this year with our D, because it's been working. And just working hard for each other is a key thing on D. Like, you can have all the structures and things, but if you're not willing to work hard and be courageous, then that means nothing. So that was the main thing. And then also just with our menu, against the Blues, the conditions probably didn't really go our way to utilise that as much as we want. So just another week to get better and learn our detail around our menu, and hopefully we can score a few tries there, but won't give too many secrets away.
No, I'm sure you won't. I'm looking forward to the clash at halfback, in particular between the Hurricanes' young gun Cam Roygard, who's going great guns, and of course Brad Weber, who's my favourite halfback.
Yeah. No, that'd be awesome, mate. I know Brad really well. He's an awesome bloke, and his support lines are the best in the world, almost, I'd say. The way he just anticipates the play as a nine, and he's always turns up on the inside, and I think just the speed of delivery too. You can't beat quick ball, and as a defense it makes it hard. But yeah, Cam, I was alongside him at All Blacks 15 last year, and he's deceptively like big boy. He's strong as, and he just like real decisive, backs himself. I mean, you've seen that game against the Highlanders, like that try that Reed he made on Flower, throwing that inside ball, and then he went 60 metres. So he's playing really well this year. All about bolt, I reckon. But yeah, he'll be fully confident. So hopefully, I think it's up to the full pack really. If we get dominated up front, then it makes it tough for the Nines.
You hope he runs into Sam Cane a few times early.
Yeah.
Tell us about Sam Cane, Alex. I mean, the poor bugger was much maligned. I didn't think he played that good last year at Test level, but he's going really good this year. And what is so good about him? You know him obviously really well.
Yeah, I think Sammy, like, he lets his actions do the talking a lot of the time, and I think it's hard. Like, I feel for him, but like, if you know rugby and know the game, it's more than just the flashy stuff, the big hits or the tries or the line breaks. Like, if you go through and look at the games, like, you'll see Sam is the one that's doing all that hard work, hitting rucks, dominating tackles, being present to the breakdown, working really hard. I think that gets missed a little bit, but I think that he leads through his actions. Like, he's first off the line, first to put his body in front of a big ball carrier. But he's also really calm and composed. Like, he obviously got a lot of experience, so there's real cooling kind of presence on the group. Even in the most kind of frustrating games, he's always level-headed, never gets riled up or anything. So yeah, and he's a great guy as well, and he's just loves the Chiefs. So yeah. Yeah,
he's a tough bugger too, isn't he? I mean, he's broken neck, I think, and wrecked shoulder and all sorts of things, and he just bounces back.
Yeah, he's a freak, man.
Yeah,
he's resilient as.
Yeah, great news too. I was reading during the week that Anton Leonard-Brown, your midfield partner, almost ready to go, and lock Josh Lord, fantastic young talent, nearly ready as well. That's good news.
Yeah, it's exciting for us. Obviously, Anton one of the best midfielders in the world. So to have him back will be just awesome. Kind of heading into the middle of the season where your depth really gets challenged. You've seen a few other teams like the Crusaders, they've just struggled a little bit with depth and injuries, and have struggled in some of their games. So I think just bolstering the squad with those two, like we've also already got so many good locks, and you just add another world-class player like that, so it's going to make it tough for the coaches. But I think the key to the comp is if you can kind of maintain your depth through those later rounds, and then you can build really nice in the finals. So that'll be awesome to have both of them there. Obviously, Anton's a leader in the group and knows rugby well and talks really well to the group. So his experience will be awesome out there just for that backline, which is going really well at the moment. So hopefully you can just add to that, and those outside backs just keep firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, geez, you got some wonderful firepower out there, that's for sure. Of course, the big news recently is Scott Razor-Robertson finally confirmed as All Black coach, which we all knew he was going to be. There's a bit of chat amongst the boys about that. Are they generally happy about that, or?
Honestly, no chat.
No.
No one's thought about it. There's a little bit before it was announced, around probably more around how New Zealand rugby have handled it a little bit. But we kind of all, so you got a feeling that you kind of knew it was going to be him, really. But yeah, not really. To be fair, I did an interview with Rugby News, the magazine, over here in New Zealand, and I went and picked up the copy just to have a read of it today, and his face was on the front, and I was carrying it around, and a few people would just come up to me and like, "Oh, you need to fold that book up and get his face out of here." Other than that, there's been not much.
Yeah. Oh, no, well, that's right. And of course, a lot of your boys are playing under Ian Foster at the moment, so they'll be totally focused on, firstly the Chiefs and then the World Cup if they get selected.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So you're confident New Zealand can mount a really good challenge at that World Cup? I mean, all the talks of Ireland and France in particular. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, it's hard to tell. Like, I guess going off results from Northern Hemisphere tour weren't great, but like you look at the players that we've got. I think just New Zealand rugby players just were brought up, wanting to be All Blacks and start from a young age. That kind of development process, like it's almost like the Brazilians in football a little bit and all that stuff. So I'm 100% sure. I'm certain that we can go all the way. It's just I don't really know how much the coaching and that little stuff affects that team. I haven't been involved, so I wouldn't know. But we've got the firepower, man. We've got the players, and there's no reason why we can't. But it's going to be cool because of that competition, like you said. France and Ireland have been probably most consistent last few years. So it's going to be really exciting World Cup. Often you can kind of see or pick who's going to win or who's going to be that top four. But I think this year's pretty too hard to tell at the moment.
Yeah, of course, you never write the Springboks off. They're always there or thereabouts. Yeah. Do you miss them in Super Rugby? Do you miss playing against the boys? Miss that?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the travel is a long way, but it's pretty awesome going over to South Africa. Completely different culture over there, and just different kind of to New Zealand, I guess, which is awesome to be a tourist for a little bit while you're also competing in Super Rugby. So that was the cool part. And then also playing the South African teams also was a different dynamic to what you get with the Aussies and playing the Kiwi sides. They were big, played at different conditions, sometimes at altitude.
Yeah.
The stadiums are normally packed and the crowds are pretty crazy. So yeah, it was definitely cool doing that. And I think it could have affected a little bit the All Blacks and the flying effect from not playing those teams and getting a feel for how they play the game. But yeah, one day hopefully we can all be back together and playing against each other.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, that's my big wish. I think everyone hopes that. And I certainly love the All Blacks Springboks clashes. They're still the pinnacle for me and my mates anyway.
Yeah, I remember growing up watching All Blacks versus South Africa at like 5 a.m, 4 a.m in the morning when I was a little fella. So it was pretty cool. Brian Habana and all that lot playing.
Yeah, I was a generation before the little transistor radio. Me and my brother got up during the 1970 and 76 tours every every game, midweek games a lot.
Yeah.
We'd go to school and be the reporters. Yeah, good fun.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, Alex, all the best. I hope the Chiefs go well on Saturday afternoon down in Wellington there. I'm sure they will. And all the best with your recovery from concussion. I hope it goes away real soon.
Cheers, John. Appreciate it, mate. Yep. Fingers crossed.
All right. Yeah.
We'll get there.
Good on you, mate. All the best.